Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Vail VR. It's a 5v5 virtual reality tactical shooter game. If you've heard of Population 1, which is a hugely popular game in Oculus Quest, it's very similar to that. Basically a Fortnite in VR. Now we're going to talk about it a little bit. We're going to get into it, and we're also going to be talking about the NFT sale that they just recently had and how to prepare for that and what you need to know. This game is different from a lot of the other games we've covered. If you've seen some of my other videos, we cover games that are in the blockchain space, but usually go to a blockchain first release strategy. They start out with the blockchain and the crypto, and then they build the game. This game, however, started out by building their game first, and now they are just getting into crypto. They had their auction last week, I believe, and the NFTs are about to be minted on the market. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch a couple trailers just very briefly so you can get a sense of what this game is. Up here we can see some gameplay footage. It's a 2-minute trailer, so I won't play the whole thing, but we'll just kind of watch a little bit of it.
Go first, bodyguard.
They like posting somebody up right up on this corner. There we go. Alright, I don't see anybody here. Oh! Around the corner. Nice. He's dead.
Good kill.
Right.
Yeah, so it's kind of just, this is kind of the devs just showing the gameplay footage, but they also have this trailer right here, which is more social, and I'll explain this a little bit later.
The headshot, though.
100% luck.
Bro, no shot.
You know what? 1v1 me in the armory.
All right, bet. Let's go.
When you make a friend, you get this little feeling like they will be your friend forever. Friends are there being kind and being there for you. When I'm around my friends, I feel safe, good, and cared about. As Winnie the Pooh once said, a friend is one of the nicest things you can ever have, one of the best things you can ever be. So go out there, make some friends. I promise you'll feel good in your mind and in your heart.
So yeah, in addition to the active shooting, they also have a social component that is very much like VR chat or Rec Room or even Decentraland, where you can hang out with your friends, you can chill, you can play games like chess, you can do thumb wars. So it's kind of cool. They have this social component and they also have this actual gameplay component as well, which if you've been following VR is actually a very interesting idea, and I think it's something a lot of these VR games are probably going to start adopting. Now the studio itself, AEX Labs, is very interesting. If we go over to their About Them page, we can see that this is kind of the core team right here. This man right here, Jonathan Ovadia, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that right, but he is the chief executive officer of the company. And if we go over here to their Start Engine page, we can see that they've already raised quite a bit of money. 1.3 million was raised just recently, and then previously before that they had about $1 million in crowdfunding investment. So the company is very interesting. A lot of people are very bullish on it, it seems. The NFTs were part of this whole fundraising campaign that happened in December. You can see that they closed out this fundraising campaign or this investment campaign in December 1st, and the NFT sale happened December 3rd. So this is all part of a way for them to raise money to put this game on Oculus and get it into VR and get people playing it. It does look like the initial release will be on VR Steam, as they're already set up right here. I'm going to just, I'll probably add it to my wish list later. But yeah, I'm keeping my eye on this to see when this game comes out, because it does look super cool. So as I mentioned, the NFT drop has already occurred, unfortunately. However, the NFTs have not yet been minted, and they still have yet to be released on the secondary market. So that's what we're doing this video about, in case you're interested in buying those on the secondary. If we go over to MetaDrop, where they released, we can kind of get some more information about them. So if we scroll down here, we can see that we have about 6 different Vailian bots that exist in this universe. Each of them has their own description. We can see Zog right here. Zog, although some say the bots are entirely human dependent, that's not quite true. Zog is a standalone goo that clearly operates machinery for its own purposes. When discovered, it was massive. So this is kind of like, I guess, a cyborg. It's like a bot slash goo hybrid. And if we go over here to Eric's, we can see that Eric's was a series that emerged from the slums. It's an amalgamation of various parts that represents the chimeric chaos in which it was born, regarded by humans as a dirtbag bot. So yeah, so it's all kind of very interesting. These bots have different descriptions and traits to them. The important thing to know about these bots is they will not affect gameplay. So they're not going to affect the actual gameplay. They're going to be more like these pets that follow you around. And they're also going to function as battle passes, allowing you to get access to certain things and features that you may not get access to normally. In addition to that, it plays into the whole philosophy of AEX Labs. So essentially what AEX Labs is trying to do, in addition to raising money, what they are trying to do is to create this system of interoperability between different VR universes. So they're going to invite other games to use their NFTs, partner with them, so that you will be able to use your Vailians in other games as well. And this is a very complicated process. This is not an easy thing to do, because taking one asset in a game and putting it into another game, you have two different art styles, two different types of data working. It's just a very complicated thing. So it really has to be a concerted effort on the part of the team to go out there and make partnerships with other games so that you can use your assets in their game, and hopefully you can use that game's assets in Vail as well. So that's kind of the major selling point that of these NFTs. Are they going to be able to accomplish it? I'm not sure, but the team looks pretty good and they have a lot of backing, so I think that it's a probability that they will. What I will also say about these NFTs is the other thing that you will be able to do with them is use them in mini games. Now, I'm not clear on what those mini games are. It could be fighting them. It could be simply having fun with them in this social VR experience that we saw earlier. But that is another feature that you will be able to use these NFTs for. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I don't believe you'll be able to find these NFTs on the secondary market yet. They still have to be minted. The auction just happened, and so they were just allocated, I believe. They do have this floor price of 0.1 ETH, and I'm very curious about that. But again, there's not much I know. I'm just kind of trying to put this on your radar because it looked like an interesting game to me, and I'm going to be following it in order to pick up one of these NFTs. So if we go down here, we see a little message from the CEO right here, and then we go down here. They have a little tab explaining what is MetaDrop. MetaDrop is basically an NFT drop platform. Pretty self-explanatory. We have a little bit about the total supply and the tokenomics of these NFTs. There's 9,000 Vailians in total. I don't know if they're going to be releasing more or not, but right now there's about 9,000. 2,000 are reserved for the community. 180 will be reserved for MetaDrop. 200 will be reserved for the AAX lab team treasury, and the remaining 620 will be reserved for previous crowdfunding investors in that campaign that I just showed you. They're going to also be getting one of these NFTs, the 620. And the unclaimed NFTs will just go back to the community pool. Now, there's different tiers of rarity. There's tier 10, which is canonical. There's tier 1, ultra rare. Or, sorry, is that... Yeah, that's tier 10, right? Tier X. No, maybe it's just tier X. Sorry. Tier 1, ultra rare. Tier 2, rare. And then tier 3, and so on and so forth. The fourth tier has about 1,000 NFTs per model, and these are the most common ones. The rarest one is 15 NFTs per model. So 90 NFTs in total if you multiply that by 6 of the models. So yeah, so that is essentially it. If we go down here, they say a little bit about when it's going to be minted. So right here they say it'll be minted in the days following completion. So I assume when it's minted, it's going to be released to the secondary. So yeah, so that's essentially the NFTs for this project, Vailians. I wanted to put this on people's radar because I figured that it's a very different game. You know, usually we talk about games that are, again, blockchain first, game second, but this is a game that is already well into its development. They have tons of gameplay footage. They are a VR, multiplayer shooter battle, which looks incredibly cool. They also have a social component, and they're getting into blockchain. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer, to me at least, to follow this project, and keep tabs on it. And you can find their profile on Twitter. They already have 21,000 followers. And overall, the project looks very exciting. I'll be following it very closely in the coming months. And the reason I wanted to bring this to you is because, again, we do not see a lot of games in the blockchain space right now that are this far along. And this is a game that takes place in VR, that is a first-person shooter, multiplayer 5v5, about to release with funding and backing, that already has NFTs set up and ready to buy. So to me, it just seems very interesting. I'll be following it very closely. Anyway, that's it for the video, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, subscribe, helps me out a lot, and I'll see you next time.